Hello all my JavaScript friends, this is the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and this is Fun with JavaScript, our cache defense game. So this is going to be a shorter video than normal. I'm going to try with this series to keep the videos shorter so that I can get them out much quicker. So today we're going to take a look at what we need to do to set this up. We're going to be installing 3 libraries. So our first library is going to be our testing library, which I always use is Cypress. Our second library is going to be our Vite, which is our builder library, and the more I'm using it, the better and better I like it. And the third library is going to be our FWJS library, which is going to be our graphical library. So let's go ahead and get to work on that. So as you can tell here, I've got a completely blank screen. Oh, and first of all, let me remind you, in the upper right hand corner you can see the GitHub where we are doing the FWJS-cache-defense repository. It's a public repository, free of charge. You can take your code, do anything you want to with it, MIT license. And also you can email me at thevirtuoid@gmail.com and visit all of our different sites or all our different Fun with JavaScript projects at https://funwithjavascript.com, as it says in the left hand corner. So let's get started before we do anything else. And the first thing we're going to want to do is we are going to want to install Vite. So let's get over to our command prompt. We're in live cache defense, and so let's install Vite. And to install Vite, we just type in npm create Vite at latest. Now, the one thing I don't like about Vite is how it does the installation. Now, it immediately assumes that you're going to have a project name, and it will create that project within as a subdirectory. But you can't create it in the subdirectory beforehand. Like for instance, if I created it in dev projects, if I tried that, it'll say, yep, live cache defense is not empty, so we can't do it. Which means, of course, I can't have the Git already available there. So if you know of a really nice way to be able to create or to load in Vite without having to load it in as a new project and copy all the files, which what we're going to get ready to do, I would appreciate it. So we're going to keep the default project name as Vite project. We're going to do vanilla JavaScript, and we're going to select JavaScript because we're not going to do TypeScript. And it says cd Vite project npm install and npm run dev. Well, we're not going to want to do that. So let's go back over to our WebStorm. And in fact, let's go over to our directory section, and let's let it repopulate itself. And that's what it figured out it needed to populate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the data from the git ignore stuff from the Vite project, or the git ignore from Vite project that was created by Vite. I'm going to copy everything and throw it into git ignore. And let's take a look at the very bottom on how that actually looks like. So here's the data from the very bottom. My IDE is telling me that these are all duplicates, so I'm going to get rid of that. That's a duplicate, I'm going to get rid of that. That's a duplicate, so I'm going to get rid of that. So that will give me everything that I need for the git ignore. Now let's take a look at what we have left. We have counter.js, we don't care about that. Index.html, we're going to just flat copy that over to Vite project itself. I'm sorry, to the live cache defense project. And that's been done. We'll edit that file here now. So we'll go through and edit the file. There's the file. Not a whole lot here. I'm going to go ahead and change this to Fun with JavaScript presents cache defense. Da, 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 da. And the rest of it, I'm not going to really care too much about at this particular point in time. So we got index.html all ready to go. What else we got over here? Style.css I couldn't care less about. The package.json I do care about, so I'm going to move the package.json into the live cache defense. And now it's been moved into live cache defense. It's going to ask me to run dependencies. No, I don't want to do that. Don't ask me again. I'll do that a little bit later. We have the public directory, which I don't care about. See counter everything else I really couldn't care less about. So let's go back over to really quick our index.html. I know we're not going to worry about that. We're not going to worry about that. I want to make sure I don't get any kind of bad data inside here. And within the directory, the rest of the files we can go ahead and delete. So we'll delete all of that. Or actually, easier, just delete Vite project. And now we deleted Vite project. Let's go into package.json. Take a look at that. The big thing here is now we got a dev dependency of Vite. So let's go ahead and go to our command prompt and let's type in npm install. Let's type in, I almost got the wrong screen here, npm install, and let it run its thing. And there we go. Through the magic of television, it is all finished up and ready to go. So let's go back over to our WebStorm. And now that we've got let's change that name to Cache Defense. Ta-da-da-da. All right, we got that done. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to install Cypress, which is our testing platform, both unit testing and browser type testing, and that's really, really easy to do. All you have to do is go into the command prompt and type in npm install save dev Cypress. And there's the magic of television. It is all finished up. Now, this actually is a two-step process. We've installed Cypress, but we need to actually let it build up some files for us. So for example, it's going to build for us some sample specification files or sample testing files to do different things. And I like to go ahead and configure it to where it gives me all of those. So then later on, if I need instructions on how to do certain things, I have them available to me. And of course, I'll erase the ones that I don't need. So to be able to do that, we'll open up Cypress by typing in npm Cypress open. And it will come up with a screen that looks a little bit like this. In fact, it should look a lot like this. So we're going to do end-to-end testing, not component testing, but end-to-end testing. So we're going to go over here to end-to-end testing and click on that. And it will start its process now, saying here's the configuration files they're going to add to our system. So we're going to say, yeah, we want to continue. That's fine. Then it's going to ask us to choose a browser we want to test with. We're going to test with Chrome. We can test with any one of these. We're just going to do Chrome. So we click on that first button. And then what will happen is we'll bring up a screen that will then give us a completely another screen that for some reason my system is not, or my recorder software is not picking up. So I'll do a screenshot of this and we'll throw that up on the screen here. So the thing we're going to do here is click on scaffold example specs, and we do that. And it says, hey, we're going to add all of these particular projects to the system. We'll click on OK, I got it. And then that will give me all the specs. It will create for me all the specs automatically for me. Now we're not going to actually show you everything here because unfortunately I'm having to take screenshots of everything because for some reason the system is not allowing me to, my recording software is not allowing me to pick up this window. So let's now that we've got all of that done, let's flip back over to our WebStorm and show you what has changed. First of all, if we take a look at the package.json, you notice that Cypress has been installed. And if we now take a look at the directories, notice now we have a Cypress config.js, and Cypress has created a whole bunch of directories here or a bunch of specs that allows us to be able to show every single spec, that possible types of specs that we have, like for checking cookies, for network requests, and so on and so forth. Now, like I said, I like to keep these examples in here for future reference, and I'll delete them as I don't need them. And so basically, the last thing I'm going to do is to make two entries inside our package.json file for our scripts, which I have already done in our package.json. This is where I can do npm run test to do a cypress.open, which would be the interactive version, and I can do a npm run test :ci, which will run the command line version of the same test, but just do the command line version. And I believe that should end the installation for Cypress. And the last thing we want to do is to install our phaser library. And that's very, very easy to do. And to do that, we want to flip over to our command prompt. And once we're in our command prompt, all we need to do is type in npm install save phaser. And do the magic of television, it's all done. No vulnerabilities. That's really, really good. So let's take out the changes that it has made to our code. First of all, in the directory, absolutely really nothing has changed. We just added something to node modules. So let's just go ahead and go to our package.json. And you can see now here it has given us a dependency of phaser. So this now gives us Vite, which is our packager. This gives us Cypress, which is our unit testing and our visual testing package. And this gives us phaser, which is our graphical package. And that should be it for our setup. In our next video, we will actually start taking a look at just some playing around with FWJS and show you how some of the graphics are, or how I expect some of the graphics to work in our cache defense game. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please click on the like button below. If you wish to keep informed about new content, click on the subscribe button. And as always, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Again, thank you very much for watching. This is the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith. We'll see you later.